I know a lot of people have expressed concern about the recent changes of Google's privacy policy, and I know there's a great deal of speculation and uh, hesitance from people in regard to what's going to be happening on March 1st. What I'm about to say has to do with what is written in the new Google privacy policies and terms of service. We can speculate all the livelong day, and it is a possibility that Google is lying in how your information and your privacy will be used and shared. But based on what they're saying, your your privacy is not going to be changed. Nothing is changed in the number of cookies that get stored on your computer when you run a program or perform a search. None of that changes. And as a matter of fact, all of you guys should be clearing out your history on a regular basis, uh, and making sure you really get in there with a good cleaning program, because that's how other harmful programs are stored. And I'm not talking about just the harm of malware that slows your stuff down. You'd be very surprised, and it may be worth purchasing some sort of a service for that. I'm not going to tell you how to run your internet technologies. What will be happening on March 1st is Google is consolidating their various terms of service under a single Google account. The way it is previously is YouTube has a term of service or a type of service and privacy policy. Google Search has the same thing. Blogspot. They each had their own individual privacy policy, terms of use, and everything else. What Google has elected to do starting March 1st is consolidating under a single, simplified privacy policy. If you go, if you look on your site, let me call it up here so I can really describe to you how to get it. Get on YouTube.com and go down to privacy, and there's a red new right next to it. Go ahead and click on there, and you can see how much simpler the layout is for this. I mean, we went from having 20 pages of uh, just sign me up, to making a single, clear, concise privacy policy. You may wonder, what do I know about it, right? Well, as a YouTube partner, a YouTube full partner, I took great interest in studying the usage and privacy policy as it pertained to my income at one time on here. And so I've read the long form, and the things on the long form. If there was something that I didn't understand, I took the time. Tried to ask the right people, and researched it until I came up with the answers. But this new policy is much simpler. And if you look on the page, there's even tips on how to enhance your privacy. There are there are areas where you can elect to not share information. And in most every single circumstance, the default setting is to not share the information. Google, in this privacy contract, which these things are taken very seriously, states point blank that your information will not be sold. Now, if you want to not believe them, that's your choice. But if you want to go by what it says that your information will not be sold. What else do we have on here? Um, so I mean, it's consolidated and it's simplified. And now, if you guys have watched the syllabus video that I made earlier, you'll notice that I mentioned that it could even enhance your privacy. What do I mean by that? By this policy being put in place and simplified, as we've already seen, this change has increased people's awareness towards internet privacy policies and how their information is shared. And that is a good thing. That is a very good thing. Put it on one page, make it so people can understand what's been stored on their computer since the advent of the internet, people. Do you understand me? Anybody who has helped out a friend with their hard drive or whatever, or anybody that has had to sneak and watch porn on a multi-use computer will know how much crap gets stored on an operating system. So this is going to enhance privacy. But the bottom line is, if you take issue with people being up in your business, know that no matter what, the provider that you send through your cable company knows what you got going on. Okay, they can connect the dots, and they're tracking it no matter what, whether or not you have it on privacy settings, whatever. You're using their computer. Okay, through your computer, you're using other people's computers. You're utilizing their property. Does that make sense? Your internet service provider, you are utilizing their property. You pay for that usage, but it is through their property that you're getting this information. And there's several bottlenecks. So I hope that clarifies a little bit what's going on with Google and the changes that will be occurring. Now, I do not like the channel format, and I don't really agree with some of the people's conclusions about what will be happening to YouTube. In my opinion, I don't see YouTube going towards something like Netflix. I see YouTube wanting to be like something similar to Facebook, but with celebrities. You got celebrities putting up video content as a primary thing, and YouTube has the bandwidth and the chops to do it beyond Facebook. Facebook, you put up a minute video, gets all choppy and everything else. YouTube, they got this stuff down. So I see YouTube as wanting to compete with Facebook and Twitter from a social media standpoint, or from the voyeuristic approach of Twitter, and they get some of that market share. You know what I'm saying? The Netflix market share is just crap. So I don't see that as their end goal. And that has to do with the formats too. YouTube is wanting to impart their own branding. So all the channel pages will be looking very, very similar. So instead of having my individual branding, which my channel page would be my individual branding at one time, now I just get my one icon, my avatar. So there you go. Hope that helps. Anything else, just take a look around, read things for yourself. Don't go by secondhand knowledge, and read it and then believe it or not. Okay, y'all take care. And if the idea of these changes and these policies really bothers you that much, then your best option is to actually stop the internet altogether. It isn't going to be going to a source like Zipcast or whatever. Go buy a newspaper for $0.25 or do what you got to do. All right, y'all take care.